Let's go on a journey, back 2,000 years to the Royal Harbor of Alexandria. You know, right there by the Great Pharos Lighthouse, there's one ship that casts a shadow unlike anything else. And this isn't just a ship, no, it's a floating palace, a true marvel of engineering, and it's a weapon of persuasion. All right, let's get into it.
For centuries, people thought this marvel, Cleopatra's legendary ship, was just a myth, a tall tale. But guess what? It was absolutely real. And finding its story again, well, that reveals the true secret to her incredible, lasting power.
You see, the secret buried deep down in the mud of that bay, it isn't just about old wood and gold. It's the actual blueprint for how a queen, against some seriously long odds, managed to captivate the most powerful men in the entire ancient world.
Yeah, forget all those Hollywood cliches you've seen. Cleopatra's power wasn't about simple seduction. No, it was a highly sophisticated personal branding strategy. Think of it like a public relations campaign so advanced it could win over an entire empire. And her grandest stage for all of this, it was her unbelievable ship.
This ship, which was called the Thalamegos, wasn't built for war or just for getting from point A to point B. Oh no, it was a mobile theater, and it was meticulously designed to project this unforgettable image of divine authority and almost limitless wealth. She was an absolute master of what we can call theatrical diplomacy. I mean, every single detail, from the color of the sails to the perfume that was wafting from the deck, was a calculated move. It was all designed to awe, to intimidate, and to utterly enchant her guests, especially those powerful Romans she needed to win over. And this just shows you how specific her strategy really was. She brilliantly merged her sophisticated Greek background with the ancient mysticism of Egypt. She didn't just show up as a queen, she presented herself as the living, breathing incarnation of goddesses like Isis and Aphrodite. And notice that phrase, calculated luxury? This wasn't some tacky, crude display of gold. It was all designed to send a crystal clear message. Egypt is a stable, prosperous power you really want as an ally, not an enemy.
And this description from back then, wow, it just perfectly illustrates the payoff. When she sailed to meet Mark Antony, she didn't just, show up. She staged a divine arrival. Just try to imagine being a battle-hardened Roman general, expecting some tough negotiation, and instead this heavenly vision just floats towards you on the river. It was psychological genius, plain and simple.
But here's the thing. To pull off an illusion this grand, you need an absolutely incredible piece of real-world technology. So, how on earth was this floating palace actually built?
First, let's just try to wrap our heads around the sheer scale of this thing, which is just staggering. The ship was about 90 meters long. That's basically the length of a modern football field.
And it stood an incredible 50 meters high, from the very bottom to the top of its mast. This wasn't a barge, it was like a multi-story building floating on the Nile. Just incredible.
The way it was built was a work of art in itself. As you can see here, they spared absolutely no expense. The hull, built from prized Lebanese cedar. And get this, instead of iron nails that would just rust, they used these special wooden pegs that were designed to swell up in the water, creating a perfect self-sealing hull. The whole thing was draped in Tyrian purple silk, a dye that was literally worth its weight in silver. And it had marble columns and hanging gardens, planted in solid silver containers.
Okay, but what's maybe even more incredible is what was going on behind the scenes. All that visible splendor was powered by these amazing hidden systems. Way down below decks, hidden from view, you had over 200 rowers powering the ship from 2 decks with ventilation shafts. And their rhythm wasn't kept by some boring drum, but by live musicians. An intricate network of lead pipes supplied fresh water to fountains on the upper decks. And those gardens of jasmine and rose, they were so potent they would perfume an entire harbor before the ship even docked.
But for all its glory, this marvel of engineering wasn't meant to last forever. So let's see how this incredible world was ultimately lost to the sea.
So its downfall really came on 2 fronts. First, you have the political collapse, the end of her reign, and the Roman conquest. But it was nature that delivered the final devastating blow. Alexandria, as it turns out, was built on a ticking geological time bomb. Over the centuries, a series of powerful earthquakes triggered this phenomenon called soil liquefaction. Now, the easiest way to think about it is this. When the ground is soaked with water, a big earthquake can cause that solid soil to suddenly lose all its strength and start behaving like a thick liquid. And as a result, the entire royal quarter, Cleopatra's palace, her magnificent ship, it all just slowly and silently slid right into the bay.
As you can see on this timeline, the ship basically vanished from history after Cleopatra's death. For more than 1,500 years, it was just a forgotten legend. That is, until the 1990s, when an underwater archaeologist named Franck Goddio and his team started systematically mapping the harbor floor, just hoping to find a trace of this lost world. And what they found? It was just breathtaking. I mean, they found giant cedar beams, perfectly preserved in the oxygen-free mud. They found royal sphinxes that once guarded the palace, and they found countless gold-plated artifacts, untouched for thousands of years. This physical evidence proved, once and for all, that the ancient stories, which were often dismissed by later Roman historians as just fluff, were totally and completely true.
You know, this rediscovery does so much more than just solve an ancient mystery. It completely reframes our understanding of Cleopatra's genius.
And here's the most crucial point. In the end, Rome won the war. They took her kingdom, and they took her life. But Cleopatra, she was playing the long game. She so masterfully crafted her own image that 2,000 years later, we are still completely captivated by her story.
She understood something really profound, that political power is temporary, but a powerful story, that can be eternal. She transformed the brute force of politics into breathtaking beauty, and by doing that, she made that beauty and her name immortal. And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating question, doesn't it? The cedar beams and gold artifacts are what physically remain, but our true undying legacy is the story itself. It really makes you wonder, what truly defines a legacy? Is it the tangible things we build, or is it the story that people tell about us long after we and all of our creations are gone?